Hello everyone, so this is the summary of the poem Elegy to His Mistress Going to Bed by Donne. This poem was published in 1633. Come to the text of the poem. So when the poem starts, we see that the poet is inviting his beloved on his bed so that he can make love to her. And he says that he can't have rest until he makes love to her. Okay, all rest my powers defy. What does it mean that he can't have rest until he makes love to her? I in labor lies, and he is waiting for her impatiently. And now he gives example of two enemies who are facing each other, and they can't have rest without fighting with each other, and they get tired without fighting with each other. And that's why he can't have rest until he makes love to his beloved. Now he asks his beloved to remove the belt which she is wearing around her waist and which looks like the circle of stars. But he says that her body is far more beautiful than this circle of stars. Unpin that spangled breastplate which you wear, that the eyes of busy fools may be stopped there. Now he asks her to take off the breastplate which she is wearing round her breast in order to divert the attention of the fools from the real charm and beauty of her body. Unlace yourself. Now he asks her to undress herself, and he also reminds her to focus her attention on the music which is coming out of her watch to remind her that it is her bedtime. Come to the next line. And now he says, off with that happy buzz whom I envy. Now he asks her to take off her blouse, which is so rough. And now he gets jealous of this blouse because how can it be so rough when it is in contact with the breast of his beloved? Okay. Now he asks her to take off her gown so that he can see the beautiful body of his beloved. And he compares her body with a meadow full of flowers when the shadow of the hill departs from it. Or with that very coronet, and shew the hairy diadem which on you doth grow. Now he asks her to take off her head crown so that he can see her long curly hair. Now off with those shoes and then safely tread in this love's hallowed temple, this soft bed. Now he asks her to take off her shoes and to come on the soft bed, and this bed is the temple of their love, where they enjoy lovemaking. In such white robes, heaven's angels used to be received by men. Now the poet is comparing his beloved to an angel because she is wearing a white dress. So that's why he says that in such white dresses, angels visit people, you know, and he says that, but angel, like his beloved, brings to the poet heavenly pleasures, the pleasure which is imagined by the mystics. Come to the next line. And now he says that though ill spirits walk in white, we easily know by this these angel from an evil spirit. Now he says that even evil spirits also visit people in white dress, but people are able to identify evil spirits because evil spirits make you know people's hair stand in fear. Okay, but angels like his beloved cause erection. Latch upright means cause erection of the male sexual organ. License my roving hands. Now he wants to take his beloved's permission to allow his hands to explore her body and let them go before, behind, between, above, and below. Now he wants to fully explore her body, and now he compares her body with America, Newfoundland, and he calls her to be his kingdom, and he himself wants to rule this kingdom. He himself alone wants to rule this kingdom, and he calls her to be his vine of precious stones, his empire, and he feels blessed, in having her in his life. Come to the next lines. And when his beloved embraces him, so he says, to enter in these bonds is to be free. Then the poet feels free, and then where my hand is set, my seal shall be. And soon he is going to enjoy the pleasure of sex. Full nakedness. Now his body is fully, now his beloved is fully naked. All joys are due to thee. Now the poet is saying that all of his joys and pleasures are because of his beloved. as souls embodied, bodies unclothed must be. Now he compares her naked body with a soul which is liberated from the prison of the body and which becomes happy after getting released from the prison of the body. Gems which you women use are like Atlanta's balls, cast in man's views, that when a fool's eye lightened on a gem, his earthly soul may covet theirs. And now he says that the women wear gems and ornaments in order to deceive man. Because those people who like the gems and the ornaments worn by women, they do not see the real beauty of women, the real charm and the beauty of the body of women, and they are like those people who are just happy to see the beautiful cover of a book rather than reading the book. And now he says that he wants to read the book. He is not just contented to see the cover of the book, okay, but he wants to read the book. And now he says, and she should fully reveal her body to him. Okay, then since that I may know as liberally as to a midwife, the way she is going to reveal her body to a midwife, similarly she should reveal her body to him. Okay, without any hesitation. Okay, without feeling shy. Thyself cast, O Leah, this white linen hands, there is no penance due to innocence. Now he says that her white dress symbolizes chastity and penance, and here chastity and penance is not required, so she should remove her dress. To teach thee, I am naked first. And now he asks her to follow his example because he is already fully naked. And now he says that if she feels shy, then he can cover her body with his own body. And here the poem ends.